Well, we have joining us now Sandra Musa, a constituent from Kogi State. Madam Musa, it's good to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you too. I'd like to jump straight into the matter. Why have you suddenly lost confidence in the representation of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan? Just her suspension is just barely a month, and you're already, recalling her. Where are her constituents already considering? Were her constituents already considering recalling her before this process began?
Thank you very much. Good morning once again to everyone in the studio.
Oh, good morning.
Like you rightly said, that I am from the constituents, and that is why we're speaking out. And we're speaking out as people who believe that we should be portrayed in a beautiful way, and as people who are law-abiding. One thing I want you to know is that our sister is very loved. She's someone that a whole lot came out to vote for her, and it tells how much she's loved and accepted. It's only because the way the issue turned out. If only we had stayed by the issue, which was my seat was changed. Why was my seat changed without my consent? Like I said some time ago, that would have, even for me, earned her a star. I do understand that sometimes when things are changed about you without your consent, it could give you some level of discomfort because your mindset would have been tampered with in a way, consciously or unconsciously. But the way the event is turning out is what is our concern. It's why we're feeling that no, this is not the way.
Issue of sexual harassment against the president of the Senate. Is that what you're saying?
Not, if you're saying the issue of sexual harassment, honestly speaking, as a woman, that is not something to be taken lightly. And if she has her evidence, we would stand by her like we have always done from the very beginning. This issue of sexual harassment, it's a personal thing, and I would not want to dive into it.
Now, Sandra, Sandra, if I got you right, you said if she had remained with the issue of you changed my seat, that would have earned her a lot of commendations, but that the way other things panned out. Now, what we're asking is, the other things that panned out was immediately after the issue of seat allocation, it was the allegation of sexual harassment. So this recall process is a fallout. Is it a fallout of what she's saying about sexual harassment? Probably you felt embarrassed that she's making those allegations.
Well, if you're talking about sexual harassment, like I rightly said, it is a personal thing. And we do believe that a whole lot needs to be brought to bear for us to even discuss about that, which for us and for me personally, those things we're expecting, we haven't seen. And so I'm not ready to go into that aspect. It is a personal issue, and I will actually want to leave it personal. Someone can't be crying that my head is paining me, and you say, why is she saying my head is paining me? Or she should tell you to what extent her head is paining her. It is her personal thing, and so she has a right for that. We are concerned about the fact that her not being in Senate for the next 6 months is equivalent to 1 year. It's also going to deprive us of good governance. It's also going to deprive us of our voice being heard in the Senate. We also want a situation where we could get our part of the dividends of democracy. And so we need a representative. That is where our concerns lies.
All right.
This suspension for 6 months is something that is hitting us bad.
Yes. There are viral videos that suggest that people who signed this petition for her recall were financially induced. Also, the allegation that some of the signatures were also forged. Are you ready to defend these signatures? Because INEC will also verify them before a referendum is done.
Well, I think you would leave that for the INEC to decide. I am not working with INEC.
As the constituents ready to follow it through? That's my question.
Definitely, when it was presented yesterday to INEC, we actually pleaded that INEC go through the ideal process. We are not against INEC doing their job. We are not INEC officials, and so we cannot stand in there where we cannot stop them. We have done our part. They should do their part.
Okay, Sandra, just one from me. Now, you rightly said that your worry is for the next 6 months, the Kogi Central will not be represented in the Senate, and you are worried about that. Now, somebody will want to think that, don't you think approaching the Senate and asking for the months, the sanctions to be reduced would have been a better option, because you said she's loved by her constituents, you voted for her, she's done well. And so you think recalling somebody that has done so well for her constituents is the best way, rather than asking the Senate that this punishment, sanction on her, is heavy, why not reduce it so that we can be fully represented?
Thank you. I told you that she is loved by her people. That was my statement, that she is loved by her people. Yeah. If you ask me, as a constituent, has our sister come back to tell us that this is what is happening? The answer is no. So it means that, as it stands now, she hasn't even come to us to tell us that, okay, look at what's happening. And then we can now step in and say, no, don't do this, no, do this. So we are also people who are watching and seeing the way events are turning out, and then we're taking options we feel is best for us as the situation is going. And that's where we are at now.
Well, Madam Sandra, fingers are pointing towards some prominent politicians in Kogi State with vested interest who are determined to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. There are also widespread speculations that the former governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, may be the man pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Well, I wish they would come to understand that you don't fight people that have grace. If you agree with me, the former governor of Kogi State has got a lot of grace. A lot has been said against him. A lot has been said to pull him down, but God keeps preserving him and causing him to rise. In politics, you will hear a whole lot of things. Do they have proof? Can it be verified? Can they stand to what they are saying? And where do they see such a thing happening? He's having his rest and he's peaceful where he is. I beg Nigerians to allow him take his rest. It's been a whole lot serving the state for 8 years, and I think it's time for him to take his rest.
So you're saying
let
that
Nigerians
no politician influencing this process with vested interest?
Sorry, come again?
I said, are you saying that there is no politician behind the scene, you know, fueling this process that has a vested interest in taking over that seat?
It is not a constituency matter.
Okay, just before I let you go for in the moment, there was a recall process that came up on the social media where they said some constituents were